round 7 has started, but my board's not updated. I don't have any moves yet on my table. I can see that the games have begun, but I can't see the moves on my board. So we're going to
wait for that.
Rely upon our
live
camera.
action.
Yes, our camera.
And it looks like it started as a Spanish, a Ruy Lopez, as you say, yes. And Black has managed to get counterplay on the queen side. Very often in these openings, it is about breaking in with b5, b4, and Wesley has gotten that in. I play a little bit of these structures myself with Black. I would be happy with Wesley's position.
It's interesting for me that Wesley declined the opportunity to clarify the queen side with the move b4 takes c3, b takes c3. It's almost like he's encouraging MVL to play the move d4, d5, where I do want to take h2, h4.
There's been a recent very, very high-profile game which led to, got to this position, and h4 was played in that as well. I'm trying to remember who it was, but things are very mixed up in my adult brain by this point.
And what's also really mixed up is the fact that Wesley, who had a disastrous start of the Rapid, has found himself at 11.5 points, with still another 9 rounds remaining tomorrow. 3 rounds to be
opened
played.
some opportunities for him,
really
doesn't
does,
it?
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been winning a couple of games, and now Maxime Vachier-Lagrave plays h4, and this is Wesley's first big thing. So, with h4, are you eyeing threats of knight g5, bringing the queen into the game?
I truly don't understand how knight g5 could be considered a threat, especially with the d4 pawn hanging. We do at last have this clarification of the queen side, and with the move queen a8 to a1, Wesley is saying, by the way, there's a tickle. I would like to capture this pawn with my queen. Queen takes c3. That's a very unusual way, by the way, of striking against the c3 pawn is to go to queen a1. And after d5, Wesley is saying, I'm losing a lot of time, but I'm gaining an outpost. Tanya.
It feels like the piece activity for Black has got to count for something. Very often in these positions, Black doesn't get this penetrating queen into the A file, and the queen lands onto A1, the knight from A5. Also eyeing squares there, the rook can join the party from B8. Meanwhile, we ask ourselves, has Maxime really managed to create anything on the other flank?
No, not at all. I mean, again, I don't see where you're going. It's a one-trick pony, knight to g5. You're not really threatening anything. By the way, c3, c4 is an indication that Maxime is saying, yeah, that pawn is dear to me. I do like the pawn. I liked your suggestion of rook b8, bishop a6, knight c5. All of these moves make perfect sense to me. I like the outpost, knight c5 best. Please.
The one thing I want to e5 works or not, that is a beauty.
Rook to d7.
And now we can win the exchange with knight ef7 check and then continue on our merry way somehow, I assume. That is just such a beautiful
Knight
geometric
e5. Very, very
Oh my
picturesque.
Had he taken the queen, that was a checkmating one.
I didn't like the move bishop c8, but I must say the move knight e5, it was worth it. For
Just
the
to
visual.
put on a show.
Exactly.
For everyone. Knight e5. What a find by Maxime
do we actually
Vachier-Lagrave.
have
the
anything
question
better,
is, do we?
Queen f4?
Yeah, that's
I
my
think
question.
I can take and play bishop g7. I have queen f8 in the end. Although
Yes, you do.
But you start with queen takes the other pawn, or you don't care about that?
I
we
got
can take all of them.
Yeah, you can
f6,
take
g8,
one.
g7.
We do have some stuff.
And we're
like-
seeing that happen on the board. Queen f4 played. I think we're going to see this line. He first picks up the pawn on f6 with a check, and yes, what you're showing on the analysis board is about to happen.
Do we have to play bishop g7? That's the question.
Wesley's played it,
He
and
has,
got
and he's
queen
played
e8.
queen. So the players have followed our analysis right up to this moment with queen takes c7. Now, what's the body count? We've got three. We got two minor pieces for a rook, but the problem is the knight. So I have to play bishop to d4 to protect the knight.
Is that your only problem?
Bishop
Because I'm
g4.
looking at the d pawn as well, which is very strong with the e pawn. He goes for attack.
I want to make sure that I keep this pawn on the board. g4. Wesley is saying, do something with your rook.
f3 runs into a check.
I've got a check in my pocket if you play f3. This is double-edged. What is going on here, Peter? This is not, rook e3.
I'm really unsure. I feel like
bishop
you always
d4?
take e5 is very strong. e5 attacking the h7 pawn.
Bishop d4, e5 threatening mate. That
Is amazing.
yeah, that really is remarkable. And Wesley spotted it, played knight d7,
e5 anyway.
giving away his pawn on c4.
I'm liking
E5
Maxime's
king.
chances here. This is getting
What's
dangerous.
what's the clock times?
It's 4 seconds for Wesley, and he's got to defend a difficult position unless he finds a way to start giving
No,
checks.
this looks like it's
It's
It
going.
looks
very
busted
quickly going out of
completely.
And
control.
for MVL, a
E6
victory
or
would
D6.
be fantastic.
E6.
I mean, for MVL, a victory in this game against
E7 coming in?
e7 is just winning here, I think.
E7, he's done it.
And it's
there's a
handshakes with 3
handshake.
seconds. What a game by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave.
Wow, knight E5.